morning, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with the area of ABFM. What are we going to do today? We're going to talk about another topic of Module A, that is directing. How do we define directing? Directing can be defined as giving instructions to the people, giving directions to the people overall. No? How to do the work, what to do, what not to do. That means you are supervising them. You are looking at the work that they are doing, number one. Then the second thing is you motivate people to do the work, because sometimes working gets frustrating. Then is leadership. What do you mean by leadership? Someone has to come up and take the initiative. And last is communication. How do we define communication? Communication is a system where we are sharing our thoughts with others. Till the time you don't share your thoughts with your seniors, your juniors, and all the people you are working with, how will you pursue further? You know, that would be a troublesome scenario. So, what do? We do SMLC, which is overall directing. Directing is basically influencing, instructing, motivating the persons. So, can I say staffing plus directing both are people oriented? Always remember these two are related with men, because first of all you get them for the organization and then you let them do the work of the organization. You have to guide them properly. If you don't guide them properly, they will get too mixed up with the work and ultimately they won't be able to do the work properly, isn't it? So that's one more thing that they have to worry about. है ना? So what do we do? Now let's talk about the specific area. Let's do a few questions. Here comes the first area. How is leadership defined, everyone? How do we define leadership? Leadership is basically defined as a magical and mysterious skill. Okay. Then is inherent charisma of an individual, a set of behaviors and attributes, or an exclusive prerogative of a selected few. Leadership is what? One particular person saying that I can do everything. I can let you know, I can take the decisions for all of us, I can guide you further, we can look forward towards the working. All those things are set up now. Now, this is what we talk about. When we talk about leadership, leadership is basically a set of behavior and attributes. Okay, leadership is also a kind of leadership is also charismatic. पता है? When we talk about charismatic leadership, those people have such great charm and charisma that people will listen to their points, whatever they are saying, whatever they are doing, all those things they actually state it. Right? Then, okay. Now, let's move on to the next point. This is C. According to Keith Davis, what is an essential leadership skill? What is an essential leadership skill? Charisma, capacity to influence and direct people, remarkable talent or position dependent traits. वैसे तो on an honest note, all of these are covered as a particular skill. If you can think of it, now, all of these are basically very strong skills of an organization. There is no point I would say कि नहीं, this is not a leadership skill, this is not a leadership skill, because charismatic leaders are what? Spiritual gurus have such charisma that people listen to them, whatever they are saying, है ना? Now this is what we call it Now, the capacity to influence other indirect people, that's what we call in terms of organization. Charismatic leadership also exists, remarkable talent also exists. This is also a reason where people will start listening to you. But the point is, this is not really necessary that someone who's having remarkable talent will have the similar feeling of being a strong leader too. That's another honest point, to be very honest there. For example, Sachin Tendulkar has a remarkable and exceptional uh, talent of batting and everything. It made so many things, but as a leader, he wasn't someone really influential. So you cannot say that. You know, dependent traits are basically definitely there. Sometimes people, I think if I was just going through Ratan Tata's working, that he was someone who was people thought when he was becoming the head of the organization, they thought he was too young, he wasn't really deserving, everything was being questioned that he was doing it. So, if we talk about all these things, he is a very strong leader. But the point is, when he got the position dependent traits, so he got that particular position, but he had worked in different areas of the organization already. He knew the organization in and out. So, by the time he was sitting at the top, he knew what he was doing. So technically, the position dependent trait is also one other point. But when we talk about the broader point of view, it is to influence others because someone has to listen to you. One particular thing that I've always heard, the leaders become leaders because of the followers. So that's why followers are more important, right? This is what I strongly believe in. That's what I've seen practically as well. Okay, now comes why is leadership considered so important? It initiates action, coordinates efforts, and then is provides motivation, all of the above. It does all of these. Without leadership, nobody can start the working. Coordination of action is very difficult, and then as well as provision of motivation of everything. It becomes extremely difficult when it comes to the entire working. This is one of the realities of the work. If you feel that winner, this is super important. Okay, then comes all of the above as the answer. Then, how does directing contribute to the coordination of efforts in an organization? Providing motivation, initiating action, coordination, subordinates at work, or adapting to change circumstances. Uh, Basically, in terms of coordination, I would say just coordinates with the subordinates with the work. No? The subordinates need to know what we are doing, how we are doing. Everything is sorted in this area, isn't it? So that's it in terms of this area. Now let's move on and talk about the next point. The next point that comes here is what is the potential advantage of authoritarian leadership? Increased creativity, efficient utilization of creative potential, then reduced decision making time, or enhanced group coordination. When we talk about what is the potential advantage of authoritarian leadership, what do you mean by authoritarian leadership? Authoritarian is basically the one where the head is so strong that people cannot raise a voice against him. For example, Hitler was so strong that people just could not raise their voice against him. He was an influential person. So when you meet such influential people who are able to work upon the organizations in that particular manner, so how do they do it, right? How is it so influential in terms of the working overall? That is what we talk about. So in this case, the correct answer is the reduced decision making time. Because in this case, you don't have to wait for the other person to be influenced enough. In what situation might authoritarian leadership be effective? When a diverse range of opinions is required, in circumstances where the leader is the most knowledgeable team member, for encouraging creativity and innovation, or when extensive coordination and cooperation are essential. Authoritarian leadership is basically required when the organization, the first of all, the person has to be very sorted. Always remember, if he's the only one who's going to take decisions, he better be the person who knows about his work. Because if he takes a wrong decision, the entire organization is gonna suffer. Not one person, not two, not three, but the entire organization. So the It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So that's what I would say. This is very important when it comes to the area of authoritarian leadership, right? Then, in circumstances where the leader is most knowledgeable team member, the answer is this. He should be the one who is the most knowledgeable person. If he is for the most knowledgeable person, then there is no problem. But if he is not, then the organization is definitely ruined. Done? Okay. Now let's move on to the next point. What is the key feature of participative leadership? When we talk about the participative leadership, what do you mean by that? Participative leadership refers to that kind of leadership where we are talking about the organizations. The person is actually asking each and every person about their work. Ki, Hanji, what's your work? How do we do it? All those things are specified in this. So that's what we call in terms of this area. Participative leaders are those leaders in whatever leadership decisions they are taking. They are choosing the people and they are influencing them. They're asking things to them. Ki, Hanji, this is what we are thinking. What is your perspective towards it? That is what they actually discuss when it comes to these areas. Okay? Then comes final decision making solely by leader. No, obviously this is authoritarian. Quick decision making process, inclusion of everyone in decision making process, or minimal contribution from team members. So the correct answer is going to be the minimal contribution towards the team members. No, he takes everybody into this particular process, isn't it? So the answer is going to be C. Inclusion of everyone in decision making process is the correct answer. Then comes the next point. According to Herzberg's theory of motivation, what are the two factors influencing one level of motivation? Leadership and management, achievement and recognition, hygiene factor and motivating factor, and then is communication and collaboration. Herzberg's theory said that this is something that we did in the first one as well, the first chapter, if you remember. When we talk about the Herzberg theory says that there are two factors. One thing will influence others, and the other thing will not. Leadership and management is super important, right? Then is achievement and recognition is again very important. Then no, when we talk about Herzberg theory is based upon a few things will motivate me and a few things will not, right? There are certain things which will motivate me to achieve my goals, and there would be certain things where I will not be able to achieve my goals. That is what we cover in this area. Okay, so the answer is going to be the answer in this area is going to be hygiene and motivating factor. A few things motivates me, but a few things has to be present, otherwise I cannot work. For example, we work in such a way where we need proper lighting, where we need proper everything. If we do not have the proper lighting, proper sanitation, proper drinking water, cleanliness, I don't think we can work, even though everything would be good. But still, sometimes we are just not able to work just because we need all these things, isn't it? Then, what should be the nature of the task be, according to Herzberg, to keep workers motivated? Monotonous and repetitive work, boring and predictable, interesting, varied and challenging, simplistic and routine. What's going to be the answer in this case? According to Herzberg, how do you keep people motivated? You have to give them work which has something challenging in it. So the answer is going to be interesting, varied, and challenging. So the answer is C. You have to give them good work where they feel motivated enough. Then, according to McClelland, what are the three fundamental important wants that motivate people? Control, power, recognition, success, affiliation, security. Power, affiliation, achievement, stability, growth, and connection. It is basically POW, the power, then affiliation, and the last one is achievement. First of all, when you achieve something, you really feel good about it. When people get attached to you, they listen to you, then that is why we call it affiliation. And when you have the authority, that is power. So basically, all these 3 points are something which is very important to motivate people. When they have power, they automatically feel better about their working. And when we talk about the area of affiliation, you feel attached to the working there. And then is achievement. Achievement is a strong feeling for sure, where you feel that nahi, you can achieve something. That is what you will cover in the area of achievement. That is need for power, need for affiliation, and need for achievement. Individuals with strong need of affiliation tend to enjoy maintaining pleasant social ties, seeking immediate feedback on their work, take moderate risk in their actions, or execute tasks for material rewards. In this case, the answer is going to be enjoying, maintaining pleasant social ties. Then, what is the first level of communication? Communication between two individuals, communication not directed towards me, intrapersonal or organizational. Intra is within yourself. Intra is something which we call it is within yourself. So in this case, the answer is going to be communication not directed towards me. That is what we call the first level of communication, because it is just told to everybody. That is what we call it. Then intra is within the person there. Organization is basically based upon the entire organization itself. Okay, everyone, I hope this session was helpful for you. So, before we end the session, let me show you where to go if you are preparing for this examination. You just need to go to our website, that is www.adda247. If you haven't downloaded the app, then please go ahead and do the needful. Then, whatever we need to do is go on to our website, and this is where you will get it. Go onto the website and take up the JIB CIB area. In the area of CIB June 20, this is where 2024 you will find the patches which are here. The Chapath Nishchay patches are already here, so you can take up these batches. Resolution batches also here, then scholars batches there. This is the previous batch which has started, and this is the new batch. So if you're looking forward to it, just go ahead and use the code Y541 and get maximum discounts. So that's it for the day, everyone. We'll be meeting in the